Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review for January 16th, 2017. Roman Reigns opened up the show. He brings up the Shield and how him, Dean, and Seth used to beat up guys no matter who they were, as a team, as a unit. But he's not using it as an excuse that he lost in a handicap match. He says that no one can beat him one-on-one, and that he will win at the Royal Rumble, become the Universal Champion, and go on to main event WrestleMania for the third straight time. Paul Heyman comes out and says, with Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble, there's only one thing that could possibly happen. Eat, sleep, eliminate, repeat. Owens and Jericho come out. Owens says that he is the longest reigning Universal Champion and will be the longest reigning champion after the Royal Rumble and after WrestleMania, no matter who he faces. Seth comes out and says that he's going to win the Rumble and looks right at Paul and Roman and says anything can happen in the main event of WrestleMania. Braun comes out and stares down Roman. Brock Lesnar comes out. He walks down the ramp. Everybody in the ring turns and stares at Brock Lesnar. Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere and starts attacking Braun, and a brawl breaks out. Roman and Sami go to Suplex City. Roman gets back in the ring. Superman punch to Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho, and then an F5 to Roman. And that's how the segment ended. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Kind of liked it. Apparently, Brock Lesnar is scheduled for every single Raw until WrestleMania. Apparently, I don't know how true this is, but he's scheduled for every single Raw until WrestleMania, except for the one in Las Vegas because of the whole UFC scandal, and he's not able to compete at. Well, he's either not allowed to be at Raw, or he's just not allowed to do any physical work. So, like, he couldn't suplex anybody. But, yeah. Every single Raw except for the Las Vegas Raw. And that's because of he's not allowed to do anything in Las Vegas for 2 years. Enzo and Cass versus Rusev and Jinder Mahal. Apparently, Enzo is no longer injured, which is nice to see. Time for the Rumble. A bear hug to Enzo from Rusev. Tornado DDT to Rusev. Enzo then tags in Cass. Empire elbow to Jinder. 1, 2. Jinder kicks out. And Air Enzo for the win on Jinder Mahal. Daivari versus Lince Dorado with Jack Gallagher on commentary. It was a rather quick match. Daivari won with a Cobra Clutch. And apparently on 205 Live, they have a I Forfeit match, which is like an I Quit match, but I'm assuming none of them are actually quitting and leaving the company or anything like that. Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Club for the tag team titles. The Club dominated the majority of the match. Cesaro started to rally. He hit a drop kick, got a 2 count, hit a 619 on Carl Anderson, crossbody to Gallows, springboard corkscrew uppercut on Carl Anderson, 2 count. Anderson goes swinging and then locks in the sharpshooter. But while he's got the sharpshooter in, he gets hit with the big boot. And they get a 2 count. They hit a spine buster on Cesaro, another 2 count. Sheamus comes in. He's the one that broke up the spine buster pin. He came in and just started beating the living shit out of everybody. And he was swinging and not looking, and he accidentally knocked out the ref. While that was happening, Gallows then attacked Sheamus, and they threw him into the ring post and threw him out of the ring. Another ref comes down. The Club hit the Magic Killer on Cesaro. A new ref comes down while Carl Anderson has a pin in. 1, 2, 3. The Club win the tag team titles. The original ref gets up and says the winners by disqualification are the Club so no title change. And then they hit a Magic Killer on Sheamus. So I'm assuming we're going to get, at the Royal Rumble, the Club versus Sheamus and Cesaro, and the Club are going to win, and I'm perfectly fine with that. As much as I love Cesaro and Sheamus as tag champs, the Club deserve those titles. Tony Nese versus Rich Swann. The match didn't happen because Neville attacked Rich Swann. Before the match, Swann started to fight back. Tony Nese then started to attack Swann, and Neville decided, no, you can't do this. I'm going to attack Rich Swann. And then Neville attacked Tony Nese, threw him out of the ring, and kicked Rich Swann in the face. And they have a Cruiserweight Championship match at said Royal Rumble. I wonder if Cruiserweights are going to be in the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of stacked, but I don't know. Speaking of stacked Rumbles, New Day comes out and says that this is the most stacked Rumble in history. Kofi turns to them and says that it's every man for themselves, in a kind of tone that he's like, don't fuck with me. Big E says that if one of them win, and then there's a pause, they all win. Titus comes out and says that he's going to replace the New Day and challenges them, one of them to a match, and he gets, whoever he beats, he gets their spot in the Rumble. Big E accepts. That's their match between them for Big E's Rumble spot. Titus slammed E, 2 count, then hit another power slam and a leg drop, got a 2 count. Then Big E stopped playing around, belly to belly, and a big ending for the win. I don't think Titus is going to be in the Rumble. He very well could still be. Never know. I don't know. Charlotte comes out and shows some pictures of Bayley as a kid with some wrestlers like John Cena, Bret Hart. Who else was there? Those are the only 2 I remember. She then showed a video of Bayley reading an essay from her high school about how she only wanted to be a wrestler. Bayley then came out, said she isn't ashamed of her past or anything. This is what she wanted to do. And she said she didn't have a dad to get her in the door, but at least she had a dad to take her places. She had a dad to take her to all the WWE live events, no matter if it was front row or in the cheap seats and the nosebleeds. He took her there, and that's all that mattered. And she then proceeded to tell her some poems about how she's going to beat her at the Royal Rumble and become the women's champion. So I don't know if Bayley's gonna win. I don't know. They very well could say that for Mania. It'd be very huge if they did. I'm fine with that if they do. Cedric Alexander versus Brian Kendrick. Captain's hook to Cedric Alexander. Alicia Fox runs down because her and Cedric Alexander are no longer together. Alicia Fox runs down and gives Cedric the rope, and while they're outside the ring, Brian Kendrick hits a baseball slide on Cedric, and Cedric gets back in the ring, lumbar check to Kendrick for the win. And then, yeah, pretty good match. I doubt we'll get Noam Dar versus Cedric Alexander at the Rumble. I doubt it. I don't know. That's probably no cruiserweight, like stuff like that besides the title. The first Hall of Fame inductee was announced. It was actually announced probably at like 6:30 today. Well, yeah, 6:30. And it's Kurt freaking Angle. That's pretty cool. It makes sense. It does legitimize his claims of he's returning in April. Obviously, he's got to return to be on the stage at the Hall of Fame ceremony and at WrestleMania. Obviously, And then the main event, Owens, Jericho, and Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn. It was a really good match. It started out in a brawl. Sami Zayn then hit a standing moonsault on Chris Jericho, got a 2 count. Seth attacked Chris Jericho for distracting Roman, which then led to Braun Strowman throwing Seth into the barricade, which then led into Roman Reigns trying to Superman punch Braun. That didn't work, and Roman turned into a super kick from Kevin Owens, 2 count. Seth hits a sling blade to Jericho, and then a neck breaker. Seth hits a suicide dive onto Jericho at the same time as Sami Zayn dives over the top rope to Kevin Owens. Braun reverses the pedigree. He takes an enziguri from Seth, a Superman punch from Roman, and a flying crossbody from Sami Zayn, and still kicks out at 2. Strowman hits a power slam on Sami Zayn, 1, 2, 3. He then continued to attack Sami Zayn. He puts him on his shoulder and carries him up to the stage, up to the announce table. He clears the announce table. Well, he doesn't clear it. He sets him on the announce table. Seth to the rescue with a steel chair, and spear by Roman. They were going to shield powerbomb him through the table, but Owens and Jericho messed that up, and then Jericho and Owens were going to powerbomb Roman through the table. That didn't work either. Pedigree to Jericho on the stage. Owens then attacked Roman and Seth with a chair, and Kevin Owens hit his own powerbomb on Roman Reigns through the table to end the show. Very, very good ending. The show was okay, I guess. I mean, Brock Lesnar returned. Don't really care. Main event was good. Yeah, there's a lot of cringy, boring crap. Especially the New Day and Titus segment. I don't like it. Don't really care. But, yeah, anyway. That's going to be it for today. SmackDown Live, Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss in a steel cage match. That's coming up. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Camp Council Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.